The town of Plymouth is full of runners. In fact, it has one of the most active running communities in the state, with a high number of road races held here year after year. To help that running community gear up for the race season, Marathon Sports on Long Pond Road has hosted several group runs. We dropped by after one of their sessions.
Runners, they seem to be everywhere you look, and with race season upon us, we're seeing more and more of them. Here in Massachusetts, where we seem to have an extended winter that skips right over spring before becoming summer, weather doesn't appear to be a big deterrent as runners continue to train for whatever race they have coming up. That's not to say it's not nice to have a warm place to start and finish, and that's where Marathon Sports comes in, as they've hosted a series of training sessions for local runners, some of whom will be running in the Boston Marathon.
Plymouth running community is really strong, so we just want to have a place for runners to show up and have some organized runs that they can get their long runs in before Boston.
When running for a distance, there's not only safety in numbers, but comfort as well.
As you train for your spring marathon, this is the kind of the time where the mileage really cranks up. So, you know, running 15 plus miles by yourself can get pretty lonely. So, you know, this is just a good way where people, not necessarily training for Boston or training for Providence, Sugarloaf, any of those spring marathons, can just kind of get together, get some miles in.
The landscape of Plymouth's downtown gives runners a heads up on what to expect if they're planning on running in the Boston Marathon. It's the weather that's unpredictable.
Running Boston 10 years ago, to me, it was more about the weather because it was a nor'easter the whole way. So it didn't matter if it was flat or hilly. I just didn't want to fall in the sleet. But Plymouth is pretty close to it, I think. When I qualified with a Big Sur marathon out in California. So the hills are much bigger there, so a Heartbreak Hill I don't think is going to be a problem.
It's the road race capital of America. I mean, there's more road races in Plymouth than, you know, there are restaurants. So it's, you know, it's a great way to kind of just get in downtown, get some miles in, have some fun. You know, and there's always coffee and donuts after, and who doesn't love good donuts, so, you know.
And on a cool day like this one, a warm beverage is probably just what the doctor ordered. If you're not in motion like I'm not right now, the weather seems pretty cold, but for the runners this morning, it was perfect as they did a 13-mile loop. The next one will be for 20 miles. Reporting outside of Marathon Sports on Long Pond Road in Plymouth, Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.